Hi guys, and welcome back to Blues Focus TV, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Blues' upcoming home fixture against Sheffield United. Now it's on Sky Sports, under the lights, Friday night. Should be a very, very entertaining game, especially with the performance we put in against Derby. I know it didn't end the way we wanted, but there were plenty of positives from that game. And it's also going to be interesting as there's going to be protests going on. It's a faceless protest. A lot of Blues fans are going to be wearing white plain masks just to show that, you know, the owners are basically faceless as a metaphor. So it's going to be interesting to see that and see how Sky Sports cover it. But all in all, it should be a great game. And it's good to get some coverage on live TV of our protests and hopefully just push the movement even further, push the narrative that we want BSHL out of our club. Let's start off getting into the analysis with our opponents. And Sheffield United, they're 11th in the table on 39 points, and they're only 6 points off the playoffs. But they've got 3 games in hand. So they're in a very good position and they're going to be going for the playoffs this season. And it's going to be very tight up there. Now, their away form is good. They're 5th in the table based on away form this season. So it's going to be a difficult match. Their form recently, unbeaten in 3. Won the last 2 of them, both 2-0, against Luton and Peterborough, and they've only lost 1 out of their last 9 in the league, so they're difficult to beat. They're on a very, very good run of form, just been climbing up the table constantly, and it's going to be a very, very tough task to repeat what we did at the start of this season against them. That's it for Sheffield United. Keep it short and sweet and get on to the Blues. And Blues, we're 17th, yes, that's right, not 18th, we're 17th on 33 points. We're unbeaten in our last 3 games, albeit against the bottom 3 in the league, and we've actually only lost 1 of our last 5. So yeah, we've drawn 3 of them, but we're not losing many games recently, it's different, but it's good. Our last 2 games, Peterborough and Derby, drawn both of them 2-2. Now, I've already spoken about the Peterborough game in the Derby preview, but the Derby game, although the end result was very annoying because of how well we performed in the game, there were plenty of positives to take from that game of football. We played with the ball, which is obviously good, it's football, but it was good to just see us pass the ball. Bacuna was a big factor in that, really linked up the play well, had a brilliant passage of play on the wing where he was just 1-2-ing with everyone basically all the way up the pitch. And I think Bacuna being in the team made Woods and Gardner both play so much better. It's the best game of football I've seen from Blues, but especially Woods and Gardner, for a very long time. And if we play like that, against the majority of teams, we will challenge the majority of teams in this division. It's just getting that consistency. Lyle Taylor, on his debut, scores a goal, could have had an assist, where good piece of play, squared it to Scott Hogan. Sadly, Scott Hogan missed it. But Lyle Taylor looks a handful, and he looks like a good partner for Hogan. I think they'll work very well together. Negative, obviously, game management falls on Bowyer's hands. Bringing Jordan James on, wrong decision. He's a young kid. And I think it was about the 92nd minute, there were 5 minutes added on, And I think everyone at this point was screaming to take the ball to the corner. Jordan James, inexperienced. I don't know what he did with it in the end, but they ended up with the ball and we didn't waste time. And that eventually led to them scoring in the last minute. Now, I understand young player, inexperienced, but I think everyone in the world of football knows you're 2-1 up. You know, you're away, the other team are going to be putting a lot of pressure on, kill the game, take the ball to the corner, job done. So it was a shame, but Bowyer didn't manage the game well, taking Lyle Taylor off for Friend, defensive substitution, always invites pressure, and it ended up backfiring, and we basically lost 2 points. So 2-0 up, to bottle it is a shame, but at least we played a good game of football for once. It was a massive improvement on the Peterborough performance anyway. Against Peterborough was shocking. It was probably the worst performance I've seen for ages. And then the Derby one, completely different team basically. Injury updates. Chong is back in training on Monday. He's obviously been rehabilitating with Man United. Back with us Monday. And yeah, it will be good to see him back in the training camp, but we're not going to see him on the pitch for, quite a few more weeks, I'd imagine, maybe even a month. Back end of February, early March, I'm hoping for. Chong, Taylor Richards, Deeney, they're all going to be out of the squad. And yeah, the Taylor Richards signing's quite annoying because he's a good player, he looks a good player, but we haven't been able to use him yet. And by the time he's actually back, he might have about 2-3 games to prove himself before Chong then comes back and ultimately ends up taking his spot. Team lineup, I want to see exactly the same as against Derby. They all played very well. Getting the minutes into Taylor and Bakuna, players who haven't been featuring for their, previous clubs so much. It is very important to get the minutes into them. And I think we're going to do well in this game. Obviously, we beat them earlier on in the season, and I'm hoping we can get something here. But speaking of beating them earlier on in the season, let's get in to the head-to-head. And as I said, we won the reverse 1-0 this season, first game of the season, and it was a very good start. Maxim Collin getting the only goal of the game. And yeah, great win that I wasn't really expecting, although I did predict it, but that was more optimism than anything. We've won 6 out of our last 10 games in all competitions against Sheffield United, which might be a bit of a surprising stat that you didn't know, as you'd expect us to be losing games against Sheffield United. But we actually haven't lost against them since 2009. So we've got a good record against Sheffield United. Finally, a team that we actually have a good record against. And I'm hoping that can play into our hands. I think the additions to the team are really going to, just give us that boost that we need. And Derby, I think it was just the start. I'm going to go, in this game, they've only lost 1 of their last 9. I'm not sure if we can win it. I think, realistically, I should go for a draw. But I'm just going to go for it. Cameras on us, live on Sky. We're going to put in a brilliant performance at home while protesting and win it 2-1. So those are my thoughts on the upcoming fixture against Sheffield United, but I want to know, what are yours? Let me know down in the comments who's going to win the game, what's the score going to be, and who's going to get the goals. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to Blues Focus TV, and hit the notification bell for more Blues related content. And if you've liked this video, head over to my channel. I do Premier League, Championship, and a bit of Football Manager content which I've started now. So interact with that, and please subscribe. It really helps me out. I've been James from Blues Focus TV and Up the Blues.